Okay. Is this any better? Maybe it's my earphones. I don't know. And I can't even see if any of you are back on here. I changed back to my other internet. Now it looks like no one is joining. Oh, there's one person. Can you hear me? Does it sound okay? This is annoying. Technology. It works when it feels like it, and it's totally annoying when it doesn't. Richard, can you hear me? Okay, is this working? Okay, it's working. Okay. Okay, so carry on. Thank you, Sarah. All right, everybody can hear me. Um, okay, let me start over. I just have to show you guys cute Lucy is like over there in the corner. She thought we were headed down to the house, so she was a little disappointed. But anyway, here we are. I did grab my wine, so I did not leave that down in the arena. And this is also a leftover from the clinic. Thank you, Debbie Whitty and Trilogy Saddles, my soulmate of saddles. Oh, I love them so much. She sponsored our wine and cheese party during my lecture on mentorship, and we had a little extra left, so I snagged it for my Wine About It Wednesday. Yeah, so anyway, the Charles Clinic was amazing. The internet worked great for the live stream, so I don't know why it's not working great tonight. But it was amazing. I highly, highly, highly recommend you guys to buy the replay of the live stream. We had like a switcher board. We had 3 different cameras. We had like 70 people there watching. It was a real event. It was amazing. We probably did not have enough porta potties, but we will make that right next time. Small detail. We will totally get that sorted, but it was an amazing weekend. And what was really fun about it and really rewarding is like one of my life goals is to bring the magic of Charles to all of y'all. And he just did not disappoint. I mean, he's almost like, I don't know, mid 80s. He was amazing, like tireless, sharp, funny. He's always so funny. He's like incredible. And I just really want everyone to have the chance to watch him work with all kinds of horses, all kinds of riders, all ages. We had some young horses. We had little Sarah who was like 13. I mean, all ages of riders, all levels. It was really special. And you know, Charles calls me on Wednesday before the clinic and he's like, I see that we don't have any lectures or you know, discussion of theory. And I'm like, I know, this is like I really struggled with like doing that or not, but I wanted everyone to be able to really witness Charles assessing a horse, seeing what he sees, learning how to see what he sees, and then learning where to start. It's so easy to get overwhelmed, and that's a little bit what we're going to talk about tonight, is this sense. I got a really great question from one of our Academy members and Team Tate TV members, and so I'm going to talk about how to not get overwhelmed about stuff like that, and when it's not going great, you know, how to like hang on to keep your eye on the prize. You know, how do you stay inspired and motivated and not let the little setbacks like get you down? But Charles just like laid it out in front of us, his total process. What is he seeing? What does he fix first? He goes to the rider. That, like, it's amazing how the rider comes with a horse complaint and he changes it around to be about riding, and he fixes the rider, and that what the rider was complaining about kind of just goes away on its own. It was beautiful. So we did 3 days, 8 lessons a day. We did actually sneak a couple of little lectures in there because Charles just couldn't help himself. He's like, we need to shorten the rides up because I need to talk about these things. So on the first day for sure, we had a great talk, and he actually went like way over time, which is very rare. He does not do that very often. Um, Talking about his wonderful book, Ethics and Passions. There's a revised edition out, which you can purchase through Xenophon Press and through Charles's website as well, charlesthecompany.com. And it's Ethics and Passions. And it is like, I know I always talk about dressage principles illuminated as my Bible, and that is true. Ethics and Passions is this amazing inspirational book of why do we even do this? Like, why am I doing this? Why am I obsessing about my circle size and how the horse is carrying me? So whenever I get too like show focused or whatever, you know, or needing inspiration and motivation, I always open this book, and it's just beautifully written in, you know, the typical Charles fashion where it's just such eloquently written and beautiful descriptive words, and he's amazing. And so he's got these one-liners in the back, and so he wanted to talk about the one-liners. So that was a lot of fun. And actually, I think I even went live on Team Tate TV because then he gave a lecture and we had a little handout, uh, some really great seats. And I was really honored that he put two of my pictures in there, which is pretty cool. But there's a lot of pictures of his teachers and their seat and how they ride. And that's just looking at the pictures was absolutely like inspiring to even look at it on the paper. And Team Tate Academy is telling me we had 80 people in total on Saturday, which is not including staff. So that was so exciting. We had 80 people. And I don't know how many people we had on the live stream, but we had auditors all over the world. We had South Africa. I mean, it was so exciting. Like this was like a mega event. And we were so proud. I'm so proud of my team. Proud of the Academy team. I'm proud of the Red Mare team. Everyone was amazing. We got our new live stream guys. Shout out to Paul and Michael. They were amazing. And we got interviews, you know, after like each session. So after the morning session and the afternoon session, we had interviews with the riders on like what their takeaways were. It was a really fun event, and I feel like maybe I missed my calling as like a sports announcer. You know, interviewing everybody after the game. How'd you feel about that flying change? You know, so that was fun. So anyway, that was amazing. The internet's not working for my sound, but it worked amazing for the live stream. So that was great. Next event, we'll get plenty of porta potties. Don't you worry. I'm just kidding. But we will. No problem there. But Jillian Kreinbring is coming August, what is it, 6th through the 8th. And she's amazing because if you want to know what your horse's body is doing when being ridden, when it's put on the bit, this is like a must attend. It's a must attend. She's a functional anatomist, so she talks all about the horse's body, how it functions when we're doing certain things. And it's a real, like, kind of scientific education. I feel like anyone who touches horses, especially who rides them, especially who trains them, which is everyone who's in the saddle, but also like trainers who ride multiple horses. Like this is going to be like an anatomy class. And I really feel like it's important to understand truly like what's going on in your horse's body in order to be motivated to train it in the right way. So we're really excited about hosting Jillian. She is um, just one of my favorite people. She's just, you guys are going to love her. She will be like your new favorite person on the planet. So check that out. Visit teamtateacademy.com. Sign up for our event. It's going to be great. For her, there's actually a limited seating. So make sure you get signed up, and we would love to see you. And what else? Oh, the podcast coming out is going to be so exciting. Podcast coming out on Friday is How Horses Learn Best, taken from a lecture. I also hope you guys checked out last week with Vafel. She's met me through the academy. She was a trainer out in California and a trainer in my academy. So we met on a Zoom lesson, and we totally connected. And then I needed help in Florida, so she moved to Florida and was like a real-time working student for me. And we just clicked instantly. She worked her butt off in Florida. It was amazing. She did a great job. It was wonderful to welcome her into our family. And we were kind of sad when she went home, but I said, we got to sit down and talk about this. Like, how do you decide? How do you have the courage to change and go do things? And then how do you have how do you know what's right for you at the time? Because she made a big change to come. She made a big change to go back. I'm really pleased and humbled that she found inspiration and motivation to like rekindle her business. And she's such a great rider and trainer and teacher. She belongs out there. So we're so proud of her, and we're really proud of the podcast. I hope you guys check that out. I was inspired, and I did it. I loved when I did it, and then I loved it again when I listened to it. So, yeah, what else? We've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 horses going to the show. And this just like goes in perfectly with my question from Elise Damsgaard. How do you bravely get through the baubles, the setbacks, and the fear that come with riding and starting young horses? So I picked this question because setbacks and baubles and fear, kind of happen to everybody. And it's not even with young horses, honestly. So I wanted to talk about that because there is a couple of big things happening this weekend. Number one, Apollo is going to the horse show. This has been like a long time coming. And he's had like weird setbacks. Like he had really bad allergies, was coughing. I couldn't ride him. This was like a year, like 2 years ago. Then he lost like all his hair off of his head. So the bridle on his head was painful. He was just not in a good way. He was just like allergies and struggling and blah. And I was like between levels. I was just in a weird place, right? And I'm like, should I show the pre-St. George again? And then I was like, should I wait? So then I decided to wait, which worked out because COVID sort of forced me to wait. But I also remember feeling like we sucked at the piaffe in hand. And I thought to myself, he is never going to learn this. And I'm like, how do I teach him to do this? And I don't really know exactly what I'm doing, but I've taught a couple horses to do it. I would never be like, I know all the answers with the in-hand work. Like I play around with it and I look at videos and, feel it through. But Gideon and Montana do it perfectly because they're trained to do it. Like they're already Grand Prix, so they're easy. Apollo is like, why are you hitting me with the whip? And there was a lot of squealing. Then he would try to bite me. There was just like a lot of drama, which is like part of Apollo's life is like drama. He's drama, drama, drama. Sometimes he's more mare than anything because he's just like, there's always this like big ta-da about things. So this weekend might be really exciting. Apollo also struggled with terrible pyloric ulcers. Like, so managing his stomach has been a giant thing. He also had a ligament in his back that was swelling and unhappy. So there's like management everywhere, setbacks all the time. Like in Florida, I was in tears after the vet was there because he was struggling and I was not the best coach for him. And then I felt guilty because I just thought maybe we couldn't learn it and I couldn't teach him and I felt like a failure, like all these things that you just like get up all in your head. And now he is signed up for the Inter 2, which, for those of you who don't know exactly what's in that test, there are 11 one-time tempies and there is Piaffe and Passage, and he is doing them all. I mean, he did them today and he did them on Sunday. So, I mean, we're prepared. He may not still do them in the show ring, but they are officially here at home tomorrow, or no, Friday. We see if they're at the horse show, at the grounds, at the show. And then on Saturday, we see if they're actually in the arena. And I am just so happy to have him coming to the show. But it was also this whole thing of like, I worried if he was ever going to pee off, ever. And I thought, oh, I just need to keep chopping the wood. Chop, 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 chop. Sometimes like you need like a chainsaw and it's like, and then sometimes it's like a little tiny axe. And you're like, tink, tink, tink. So you just got to keep moving. Sometimes the tree is going to feel like it is the biggest tree and you're not making any progress and this damn axe is not working. And then you get new tools. You sharpen your axe or you learn a new tool and you get a new axe. And sometimes stuff goes fast. And then sometimes things go so slow, you feel like you're moving backwards. That's normal. Apollo is going to show the Inter 2 this weekend. It's amazing, right? I mean, it's just like, and I remember when he was learning his flying changes, that also took 9 months to teach him to do that without like karate chopping. I could like see his like right hind foot. I'm like, I see your foot. What are you doing? And he was just tight. He was just tight in the back. So that took a long time. Now they're like, he gets great. He's great at tempo changes. And so I needed to have faith in that moment when the Piaffe was feeling like, this is impossible. Will he ever get this? Like this is one of the best horses I've ever had. And I'm like not doing a great job because I can't figure it out. Turns out he had ulcers and his back was sore and whatever. So management matters. Management matters. That's in the academy too. Figuring out about all those things. But when you feel those baubles and setbacks, it's relative for, it's not just on young horses, right? So the next big thing that's happening this weekend, I hope you're sitting down. I actually might need some alcohol for this part because Freddie is coming to the horse show. Fredders is going to the show. Okay, so now let's like put this all in perspective here, people. I might not even ride him at the show. I might not even get on him. But we got to start somewhere. I keep laughing with his half owner, Michelle, who's like one of my best friends. And I'm like, hey, hashtag got to start somewhere. So we're going to go. We're going to see the sights. We're going to look around. We're definitely going to lunge. We might ride. We might not ride. But, for Freddie, like the winning begins when we get off the trailer. He gets on the trailer just fine. He's not so great getting off the trailer. So it's going to be an adventure. And again, like just to have an open mind and, what I wrote down about like how do you get through these baubles and setbacks is the number one thing I made an asterisk about was be okay with what is. It is okay to be wherever you are on your path. It's not about you and your horse and looking at that horse and why isn't your horse doing that? Why aren't you riding like that? It's like it so doesn't matter. I don't know this is really easy to say and it's taken me a really long time to like get to this place of like I'm okay. I'm okay, you're okay. But it really is like what people are doing is like none of your business. Like let them do their thing. Like you do you. Because again, you're the best you. No one else, you can't be a version of that person because that's them. Your horse can't be a version of that horse because that's not your horse. You've got to be really aware of where you're at and just be okay with what it is and where you are. So like Freddie, it's like he's a fantastic horse. Could he, you know, be an 80+% horse at training level and first level? Yeah, he's got great gaits. He's great. Is that going to completely overwhelm his system? Is that like the safest idea to do? No, nope. Freddie is immature and overwhelmed by the world very easily, and he just needs time. So, but we don't leave him at home in the basement and be like, "Ooh, you're scared. Let's like never um, take you out anywhere," you know? And so, hey, we got to start somewhere. So we're going to go and we're going to make some smart decisions, but we begin, because every journey starts with a single step. Let's just like live in the land of cliches, but it's actually true. Dr. Jenny, what does she always say? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. One bite at a time. And if you never take a bite, what we do know for sure is you will never eat the elephant. So then, what's that? That's just like give up, and none of us give up easy because we're horse people. Horse people do not give up. Like there's a strong sense of I don't even know what flows through us, but through pain and sickness and whatever, like we will show up at the barn. And that's just we're like a pretty cool group of people. And so again, just begin. Start where you are. And it's okay to be where you are, and it's okay to take little tiny baby steps. And I think that's important to really be present in that. I think it's important to make a plan. Then I think it's important to follow the plan until you can honestly assess how the plan is going, and then be open to adjusting the plan if you need to, right? Like it's not like I gotta do it no matter what. Like I had one horse that used to be in training with me, and the client was gonna take her home, and this horse, she could buck, and I was like, do not fight through your fear and get on this horse. If she is having a day, and you feel she's having a day, do not get on. Like lunge her, like do whatever, but like you gotta separate what you're working through with what the horse is working through. And don't get on her just because you feel like, well, I'm feeling scared and I just better prove it to myself. I'm going to get on. That's not the right reason to get on, right? Like really separate yourself from who am I and what's best for me right now, and who are you, horse, and what's best for you right now. And sometimes the best thing is to not get on. Like if you're upset or you're irritated or tired, scared, whatever you're feeling, horses feel that. They completely feel that. And it's important to really assess honestly what's going on inside you. And I mean, really, really be truthful about fear. Like if you are feeling scared to do it, do not do it. Sometimes it's like, the good old like, courage is feeling fear, but deciding to do it anyway. And I just saw something on Facebook that says, yeah, so is stupidity. you know, um, and so you want to be really smart. When fear is involved, it is important to work through it. No doubt about that. But find the most productive way and the safest way to work through that. And that's usually about talking with someone, That's usually making sure your horse is going to make good decisions. And so maybe giving them to a different rider that can help create the good decisions for the horse, someone very confident that is not going to bring this emotional baggage to the horse. Like let that horse just have a good experience separate from you. And so, yeah, again, that's also like really truly accepting what things are, and again, when it's like, how do I deal with this setback? Setbacks look like all kinds of things. Setbacks look like lameness. They look like confidence. They look like um, soreness. Like right now, it's interesting. My chiropractor was here, and Freddie, I think I even posted on Facebook. It was a really exciting week, and it was funny because everyone was like going, getting qualified for the Olympics. All my friends are down in Wellington and either coaching or riding, and it was such an exciting, like so exciting. And let me just shout out to Stefan and Sabine because they are on my podcast. Check that out. They were amazing, so fun to interview, totally inspirational people to me. But like Adrienne Lyle, holy cow, 80s, like almost 82. She's amazing. And I mean, everybody was great. It was so fun to watch. Gosh, just the whole entire group was totally inspiring. So, yeah, EPM can be a setback. Like, there's all kinds of setbacks. But so back to Freddie and my week last week when all my friends are either coaching or trying out for the Olympics, going to the Olympics. Yay, congratulations, it's amazing. Freddie did his first walk canters and counter canter, like a real loop of counter canter. And I'm like, progress! Yeah, Freddie's learning some things. And I kept forgetting to post in Florida because I always had this like funny run of thoughts in my head about like, and then there was a 12-meter circle at the canter, and then like a couple weeks later, and then there was leg yield at the trot, and it was like all Freddie's progress. And then we rode with another horse in the arena next door. Then there were white birds. I mean, because it was like everything to Freddie was just like, wow, like the world was so big in Florida. And Richard and I laughed about this because I'm like, I am gonna hate Florida. Florida is going to suck on this horse. Being outside, like it was like he was overwhelmed by everything, all the things, everything. And then he came home and he was like, I did that. I rode in Florida at Poinciana, this amazing, beautiful place. And there was like 60 other horses there, and I did it. I mean, he came back like totally confident and full of himself, which was really fun to feel like he's all like proud of himself. And like throughout the winter, I was like, and then there was a turn on the forehand, and it's like, I know it's exciting to be like, and then there were 15 one-time tempies, but like I ride young horses and I know that's like the leg yield to the 12-meter circle was awesome. And I could not do that. I could hardly turn 3 months ago. It's like all relative. So we got our counter canter last week. First time ever on a full like half loop, half 20-meter circle. It was really exciting. And like walk canters, he's changing directions and walk and canter. It's really exciting. And then the chiropractor was like, he feels like a little body sore. Um, does he feel okay under saddle? And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, honestly, it does not surprise me that he is body sore because he, for the first time, is like working his body in a different way. And he's really showing up for the work. He's every day trying so hard, learning the things. It's like, ready? Canter. Like, and I don't even say canter, I just say ready. And he's like, okay, I'm ready. And then it's ask for canter and he does it. And every time it's like this really fun celebration. But, the chiropractor was like, ooh, he's like a little body sore. So I'm like, okay, so that's a tiny setback, right? So I make my plan. I'm still going to go to the horse show. Whether I ride him or not depends on the circumstances. I am going to put him on some Robaxin to help relax his muscles. I'm going to talk to my farrier about putting hind shoes on him because now he's starting a little tiny bit collection. So maybe that might help stabilize his hind end and support him a little bit more. And so then you like make the plan around the feedback that you're getting. So I think it's always really important to keep your eye on the prize and celebrate small successes and totally just be okay with where you're at. So with that, I've got my little wine left over from our trilogy sponsored um, it was a wine and cheese party at the clinic, and I was for my lecture on mentorship. So I hope you guys check that out as well. And we had some little wine left over, and I just have to say thank you, Debbie Whitty, for always supporting me and my events, and that the Virago is my soulmate of saddles. I love my trilogies. So this wine is kind of special. But the saddles are like totally amazing and special. So check those out. The new monoflaps, Montana loves it. I heard today from the vet how happy Montana's back is. He's in an Ethos monoflap from Trilogy. Amazing. I love it. Anyway, cheers to all of you guys. Keep chopping the wood. Sometimes you need a tiny axe, sometimes you need a chainsaw, but keep chipping away and let's all just be okay with what is and where we're at and respect everybody else for being on their spot in their journey. We've got to respect that and support each other. So thank you guys so much for joining. I'll see you guys soon and make it a great day. Thanks. Bye, guys.